What is up, guys? I'm Nilo and welcome to the first ever Moral Pack game review. Today I am going to be looking at this awesome new game called Space Engineers. It's still an alpha and it just got released into Steam's early access on the 23rd of October, so it's definitely not done yet, but it still looks really awesome. Space Engineers is a sandbox game about engineering, construction, and maintenance of space works. Players build spaceships and space stations of various sizes and utilization, both civil and military, pilot ships, and perform asteroid mining. Space Engineers utilizes a realistic volumetric-based physics engine, which means that all objects can be assembled, disassembled, damaged, and destroyed. There are two modes in Space Engineers, Creative Mode and Manual Mode. Creative Mode in Space Engineers will be similar to Creative Mode in Minecraft, meaning that players will have the ability to spawn an indefinite amount of blocks. Normally, blocks are welded and built in a time-consuming fashion. Players will be immune to damage and status effects. World settings will control this. There may even be an option in the future that will allow players to create blueprints of designs made in Creative Mode and export them to Manual Mode. Manual Mode is a realistic version of Space Engineers, the opposite of Creative Mode. Players will need to harvest resources and craft blocks from scratch. Players will build blocks by installing a frame and then finishing construction through several stages. Components are supplied from the player's backpack and installed layer by layer like an onion. Components include many different types of blocks. Multiplayer has been confirmed for Space Engineers. Personal servers are being looked at with players hosting their own world or sector to the public or have it private. Servers can be dedicated or non-dedicated with a browser list supporting Steam matchmaking. Players should be given as much freedom as possible when it comes to hosting their own worlds. In addition to this, worlds will be persistent and can be loaded from save files at the server admin's discretion. What you're going to be looking at now is the Space Engineers Alpha crash test recordings. It really gives you a feeling for how realistic the game's engine is when it comes to the destruction of blocks. While we're watching the ships get destroyed, I'll talk about some other aspects of the game. In Creative Mode, to create objects, you press G to open the toolbar. You can select New Small Ship, New Large Ship, or New Station. A new object will be inserted in the empty space right in front of you, and this new object contains one armor block only. You can start attaching additional blocks to it, i.e. cockpit, reactor, thrusters, gyro, etc. On foot, Space Engineers can run, climb, or fly using a jetpack. First or third person perspective are available camera modes. You can enter a ship's cockpit by positioning your player in front of the ship's cockpit and pressing T. To have free look from the inside of your spacecraft, hold down the Alt key. There are instruments shown in the alpha build, but it's unknown at this time if they provide feedback or just decoration. You can switch between first and third person perspective by pressing the V key. Only small ships will have first person perspective available, as the larger ships will have third person perspective locked. The larger ships do not have an eye, rather they are controlled from a central room using a computer screen. Since Space Engineers is still an alpha, there are many planned features that have not yet been incorporated. In addition to that, Space Engineers is very moddable, so you can edit it and change it to whatever you want it to be. That about wraps up today's game review. Space Engineers is now available through Steam Early Access for $14.99 US. Space Engineers is also available for purchase through the website spaceengineersgame.com. Thanks for watching today's Moral Pack game review. I've been Nilo, this has been Space Engineers. We'll see you guys next time and take care.